You'll have to excuse me, my Fate of Black's not working at the moment. But hello there, I'm Guru Larry. Now, ever since the Second World War, us Brits relied on public information films, that's what we call PSAs over here, to protect us from acts of complete retardation.
In the early days, it was simple things like using a handkerchief when you sneeze.
Come here, what do you think you're up to? You've probably infected thousands of people already. What do you think this is for?
Or the Ministry of Food warning us about explosive stews.
Stop! That pot of stew could be dangerous. As dangerous as a stick of dynamite in the hands of a child.
And by the time the 1970s rolled around, they had celebrities protecting us from the bleeding obvious. Such as pop stars like Calvin Stardust.
You must be out of your tiny minds.
Don't worry if you don't know who he is. No one in the UK under the age of 25 does either.
Showing us it's safer to cross the road with a dead cat on our heads.
Be safe.
And football stars like Jimmy Hill. Teaching us to think back.
Think five.
But come the second half of that decade and into the 80s, they decided it'd be far more entertaining to scare the shit out of kids instead, with films like this Donald Pleasant-voiced paedophilic Grim Reaper who enjoys pulling kids into lakes for some reason.
Sensible children.
Watching kids fry on electricity pylons. And worst of all, having Doctor Who shout splink at us.
Splink!
But by the late 70s, they really upped the ante on giving kids nightmares by making a certain film about the horrors of playing in farmyards. So for your consideration, I give you the 1977 public information film, Apaches.
As we all know, Apache's Native American for how to kill yourself in the most gruesome and retarded way possible. And these kids are up for the gold medal. Well, it's nice to have Britain good at least something then. But without further ado, let's have a look at this year's contestants.
Kim.
We start off with two token girls, Kim and Sharon. Mainly to prove that the female of the species is also just as capable of having the self-preservation instincts of a lemming.
Michael.
Then there's Michael.
He's daft. The Apaches never wore red.
That's bollocks. Apaches were infamous for wearing Manchester United scarves around their heads when going into battle.
Me. Geronimo.
Our protagonist narrator Danny, who spends most of the film with a gormless look on his face whenever anyone dies. Adore. He also looks like a young John Sims for some reason. And finally...
Tom. Robert.
Okay. Good old Tom and Robert at the end there. So non-essential to the plot, they couldn't even be asked to make up an Apache story for them. Anyhow, the backstory evolves around the build-up to a big family party. Though unless it's a goth's birthday party, the fact they're all wearing black gives away the bleeding twist ending straight away.
Oh, but Larry, this is a kids' film. You don't want to complicate the story now, do you? Fuck off!
So the kids are off to spread foot and mouth disease to their nearest farm, when they come across a farmer driving a tractor. But instead of keeping out of its way, you know, like a normal person does, they decide to chase it, and Kim climbs on the back of it.
Now, not to discredit the director here. Well, actually, yes, because it's bloody stupid. But have a look at the driver here. On no occasion does he ever go at the kids for climbing up on his tractor, let alone for trespassing on his farm.
Oh look, a small child has brought on my farm and has climbed on my tractor and pretend to shoot me. Why, I don't see anything wrong with that. Well, you ain't beaten me yet, long lady. I got an ace up my sleeve. I'm gonna run your frickin' head over. And you know what? That's just what he does.
Who would have thought a plastic rifle would have so much jam in it?
Now, aside from the completely retarded residents of the farm, the school themselves obviously don't have much optimism for the kids' survival rate there, considering they write their name tags on bleeding post-it notes. But we start on the next kids' game, totally nonchalant that one of their friends has just been brutally killed there.
Some girl was swapping elephants. She brought them along.
So after a rather pointless chat about the 70s BBC show The Multicoloured SWAT Shot, Christ, that shows how old it is.
Hang on, I'll speed on this pointless bollocks. Goes on for a good 10 minutes. They decide to play kick the can. Danny spots Tom hiding, so he legs it into a large slurry pit. You know, as you do. Note the farmer driving the tractor though, totally ignoring all these kids trespassing on his farm again. So you can see where this is going. Poopality. Meanwhile, back at the school, and we're once again treated to a euphemism for the child's death. This time by the teacher pulling out a headless, molested action man. That's what we call G.I. Joe over here, from his desk. But once again, the kids are back on the farm, playing cowboys and Indians this time around. Another farmer drives past, totally not giving a shit. Again. So the kids all celebrate by stabbing some hay, then circle around pretending to drink a bottle of weed killer.
Let's have a drink. Hey, I'm not drinking that. You don't know what it is.
Well, just mime it, like we did in the school play.
Me have many scalps.
Me kill many warriors.
Hang on, you just suggested to everyone to mime drinking it, and then you actually do drink it. You silly cow.
You alright, Sharon?
Yeah,
Yeah, of course she's fine. She just drank poison, you gormless twat. Sharon's not feeling too well after drinking all that weed killer. So I thought I'd cheer her up by sneaking into her bedroom and hanging up this extremely studly poster of Lord Cat on her wall. Isn't that lovely? Grr. Let's see if she's found her gift.
Mommy! Mommy! Help! Mommy!
Anyhow, no school scene this time around, just some monologuing about why parents like parties, whilst we look at this extremely tasteful plate set.
When they all get drunk and dance around with you.
But back on Death Farm, we can see that the kids have given up playing cowboys and Indians, despite it being the title of the frickin' movie, and are now playing Starsky and Hutch. Something you probably have your head kicked in for doing nowadays in school. Especially if you're basing it on the remake, there'd be many a fight on who wasn't going to be Ben Stiller. It's also around this time in the film that they run out of money for a soundtrack, and just got some idiot to bang on a tin for 10 minutes instead. Cue the moron farmer, no reason. And uh-oh, Michael's about to be run over by a JCB. I've got so little rapport for him, I hope he isn't crushed. I can't look. Whew, it was a red herring. So after that pointless scene, more running and running, until Michael hides behind a gate, leaning against a wall.
Ready? Ready. 1, 2, 3. Freeze! Look out!
No, don't take the piss. This kid's just died from a gate gently falling on his back. How it actually killed him, I don't know. I mean, drowning in cow shit, as stupid as that sounds, that's legitimate. But this? I don't know, but he's bleeding out of his ear, so it must be true. So we get that token gormless look from Michael again, who is somehow unaware how death works, even though 3 of his friends have just been killed in the past 10 minutes. And we get some more monologuing about the party, in case anyone out there in the audience is thick enough to have forgotten it within the past 3 minutes.
No, you stay here.
Back at the farm, the remaining 2 children have somehow managed to figure out there's not too many of them left now. So Danny decides to find some more recruits to mercifully slaughter accidentally on the farm. When, lo and behold, he's distracted from his genocidal quest by a farmer parking his tractor, and instead asks to have a go. Now, despite them being responsible for several deaths of children on their farm already because of their incompetence, they're more than happy to let young Daniel drive it. It's about this point in the movie where I'm thinking, is this film really a warning to children about the dangers of playing on farmyards, or just how frickin' stupid some adults are? I mean, in real life, if that farmer's responsible for the deaths of 4 children on his farm due to sheer negligence, he'll probably be in prison right about now, being bummed by a very large man named Shirley. So Danny, being the idiotic twat that he is, boots the handbrake and the tractor starts to roll down the hill.
This tractor is very slowly moving with me on it! You do know you could easily jump off. Jump off? Seriously, jump off. Seriously, you're retarded or something, you could easily jump off. And you gotta love the adults' look here. Oh, that kid's driving off in our tractor screaming for help. Let's stand still and see how this develops. So young Daniel drives off this ever so slight decline to his death. Again, how does he die? I mean, it would hurt like bloody hell, but I don't see how he died from that fall. Even the director thought this fall was shit with these fast action quick cuts. And this has to be the only vehicle fall in celluloid history where it doesn't explode at the bottom.
Cool.
Wrap up shock horror. The party was Danny's
I
wake
don't
all
know,
along,
Granddad.
and he was talking
Oh,
to us as a
I'd be there
ghost.
for the party.
So that's where they got the idea for the
wish I
Sixth
was.
Sense from.
I wish I was there.
And that's his cousin at the funeral. Oh! Didn't see that one coming.
Honest.
And the film closes with a reel of kids who really have died on farms for the previous year. But I'm not taking the piss out of that. I'm not that sick.
So that's Apaches. Sure, it's not going to be winning any awards, but if they intend to make a movie to scare the shit out of children, then they've definitely done their job. Now, unfortunately, the film's never come out on VHS or DVD, so to break convention here at That Guy with Glasses, or Tuggle as I like to call it, I'm going to be a bloody nice bloke and let you watch the entire film all yourself. All you need to do is click on that link below me and you can watch it to your heart's content. Thanks very much for watching. I've been Gory Larry. Goodbye and good gaming. Except this isn't a video game, is it? Oh, no, another catchphrase. Oh, bollocks.